Last call.
Last call, everyone.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.
What a
Happy Memorial Day.
fun day I've had.
This has
I don't
been
know
a great
about you
day.
guys,
We had a
but
great day.
I have had an awesome day.
We had a really nice day.
We had a good time today. We had a nice little social distance cookout.
Yep, very small group.
Very, very small group.
About 10 people, give or take.
Not even.
Give or take,
Not
maybe
even?
less,
Yeah.
probably.
Well,
The little ones
people,
don't
It
count.
wasn't as big as the
I
shindig
count-
at Karen Polito's house, but I'll tell you.
I count the little people as like half people.
Yeah, so we were like maybe 8 then.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
like
we
eight.
had
There were a lot of little ones.
Yeah.
There were some little
A
babies.
lot of children.
And they social distance from me all the time.
Yes,
so I
they
never
stay
have to
with
worry about that. I never have to worry about that.
But you cooked for us and it was wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
let's
We had
talk about.
we had
Can we
great
just talk
food.
about the hummus from that party
Kat
for a second?
prepped everything.
That's
So let's
Kat-
get
Kat's
that
my
recipe.
wife.
That's
Get
Kat's
that recipe
Oh
here.
my God.
I didn't even.
That's
I
what I'm
wanted
saying.
to mention you. That hummus was incredible.
So she
With the
kills it.
oil in there and the whole. That's Kat's recipe.
Yes.
So we're doing that
That's,
here.
Starting
Yeah.
tomorrow. That's the new recipe.
So she
We
makes-
have
She knows how to make the Middle Eastern food very well.
She does.
Learned from her mother. So this is like a wicked inside baseball thing, but like if you are from the Middle East, every like region has a thing that they're known for. The Lebanese are known for their cooking. Like their culinary
Absolutely.
skills are
Absolutely.
in
Wait,
the
so
Middle
what are
East.
some of the
you're
other
known
ones?
for that. Well, Saudi Arabia for their tolerance. No, that's-
is so the El Basha family, are they Palestinian
Lebanese.
Lebanese?
No, Lebanese.
Lebanese, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
They're the
Lebanese.
pinnacle of that food.
They are, again, them, the Al Morocco family, the people who own Sahara. That
The
is all
Abudis.
Lebanese. So like that for Middle Eastern food, if you're gonna go for that, always trust
Shout out to the booties, my wife, Anna Panaj.
a Lebanese family to cook your food.
I mean,
And this
like,
is coming from an
I
Assyrian, so
felt-
this is like blasphemy on,
Oh, right,
from
yeah.
where I come from, but
I felt incredibly lucky today to be at a barbecue where it was all like incredible Middle Eastern food. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
so much
The
fun.
so it was
Kebabs.
great.
Oh
So
my God,
she
so
did
good.
the kefta, they call it, the
Ah,
kebabs.
so good.
It's like literally ground beef. She added some parsley and some onion, and she
What
did
was
whatever
that?
she
What was
did.
that? The salad, or it was like a dip thing with like it looked
Quinoa?
like yeah, it was quinoa. Like,
It was
So
a
she
quinoa
wanted-
salad.
She was going to do a potato salad, but wanted to do something different. And she knew you're vegetarian too, so she said, let's do something outside the box. She did a quinoa salad.
It was awesome.
great.
Yeah, she
was
did.
awesome.
They are very good at, and I say they because her mom was there too to help and her sister as well. So they all are great with the culinary stuff.
Yeah.
And, as you can tell,
That was-
I eat well every night.
It was a lot of work
So thank you, Kat.
considering the
The small
8 of
group.
us that were there. Like, I just really appreciate it.
It was like a private
So we're
catered meal.
supposed to start with beer. So let's
Yes,
do that.
every day.
I mean, I have a beer. I'm still carrying over.
no.
I've been milking this same
We
Miller
have a-
Lite for.
We have a special one for you. What
Very
is this?
special.
I like this, by the way.
I made this. I made
Josh
this
makes
earlier
these.
today.
Josh did
This
make
is
this
my
earlier today.
my.
So
We
it's
have-
a
from
champagne
cage.
cork.
Yeah, from.
We have a special beer today. It is from the mountains of
Mountains of America?
mountains of Colorado, the
Mountains
Rockies.
of Colorado. The Rocky Mountains of
Oh,
Colorado.
Rocky Mountain.
The heart of America.
I will tell you what. There's nothing better than a nice Coors Light on Memorial Day.
Why are we doing that?
So why are
'Cause
we
that's
doing
what
this? I'll tell you right now why we're doing this.
Yeah, why
Number
we're doing
one. Today was Memorial Day, and
Just in case you haven't seen the label, here you go.
we had
the
Oh,
silver
look.
bullet.
The mountains are blue. It must mean it's cold.
As far as I know, that particular beer will not slow you down.
It will not. And this is a good beer to have to enjoy during a cookout. I was grilling
I'm not
today.
sure I
I
agree with
sampled a
this.
few of these. No,
Well,
I agree with them.
Okay. Well, we had that taste test a few weeks ago, and
this is your least favorite.
I couldn't tell the difference actually between
Yeah,
the
so
three.
why wouldn't
but-
you
So
drink
all right,
this?
let's go ahead. Pour
So
it.
for me, this guy was. This is what I drank today. You know, I ended up drinking Coors Light. I thought it was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
We
easy
drank
to
a fair
drink.
amount of that.
And then when you're standing in front of that grill and it's hot outside and you're sweating, this is like water. It's basically
like
your water substitute. So I think it's 4.2% alcohol ABV. So this is what we ended up doing. So
It's like the seltzers minus the flavoring.
in case you forgot what it tastes like, I'm gonna
It's
give
like
you some.
seltzer.
It's been at
if
least
seltzer
20
didn't
minutes.
Taste like anything.
Right.
All right.
No, I mean it tastes like beer.
Oh, okay.
You thought it tasted like Miller Lite.
Also, I'm not gonna lie to you two. You guys are my friends, my business partners, my brothers. I'm not gonna lie to the people at home. This beer is expires on October 14, 2019, so we have to get rid of it. So, look it. This is what we're doing. It's Memorial Day. We get a domestic
We gotta
light beer.
we gotta like take care of some
I mean,
housekeeping.
I don't know if it gets
I don't
worse.
know.
Like it starts bad.
If you keep it cold, it doesn't go bad.
If you keep it cold, it doesn't go bad. So,
All right.
cheers,
Well,
guys.
cheers.
Cheers.
Everybody home, I hope you have a drink. Go ahead and have a.
Yeah. So this is water flavored beer. I mean,
Yeah.
essentially what
Honestly,
it
it
is.
doesn't taste like anything.
No,
No.
but you could. That's the whole point. I guess.
You get
in
the littlest
domestics.
hint of malt, and that's it.
A little bit of malt.
That's it.
But
Then
that's
it
the
goes
whole
away.
point with Coors Light.
Yeah.
It's extremely light.
It's really bad.
You don't like it,
It's
huh?
not
It's
bad.
really
It's
bad.
just not
Okay, I mean,
anything.
it's good.
It's
Okay.
not anything.
It's not anything.
Right.
So you're a Miller guy. You're a Miller Lite through and through.
I mean, I don't know. I've been lucky. We have all these beers here.
So
That Czech Pilsner that's been on there.
how can you compare the two?
You can't.
But it's they call it the same thing.
I mean, it's basically you
The
got
Schilling Czech
lager,
Pils is-
Pilsner, or whatever.
Yeah.
So lager to lager, we have Night Heavy versus this, or even if you had a Budweiser. I mean, completely opposite. Anything craft is made in smaller batches compared to this. Way better flavor, better ingredient, more
Yeah.
localized.
No question.
That's what you want to have. I'm gonna have one more sip.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna
It's
go ahead and open.
It's hydrating.
You know, today is National Wine Day.
Well, I know. We
Did
talked
you
about
guys
this.
know that?
Wait. We normally do a food. What?
Oh.
we were close.
We were close today.
No food today.
No food.
We
Hey,
apologize.
Guys, anyone in the kitchen? There's no one
I'm
in
gonna
there.
grab a bag of chips for you.
We apologize to the few people that actually placed orders. Sorry
What
about
did
that.
we eat? So we already talked about what we ate.
Oh, you guys,
We
you
had
and
the
me, tons of
kebabs
food.
and
Well,
we
no,
had-
all we talked about was the hummus, really.
No, kebabs
So
and
the kids,
salad.
the kids
and-
had some hot dogs and hamburgers.
Yeah.
Italian sausage, that was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Chicken wings, kebabs. That was a good day.
It was
It was
really,
a lot of fun.
really,
Can we
really
go back?
nice.
Can we go like
Well,
back
we-
4 more
sure,
hours?
of course we can.
What time is it?
We can just go back after this.
Turns out nobody's really keeping track.
What are your favorite cookout foods? You know, so there's some very classic American ones. I miss. We didn't do this today because it's again not Middle Eastern, but like macaroni salad, potato salad.
Yeah.
I love
We
those
were
things.
going to do potato salad.
Yeah,
oh,
you said
no,
that.
I'm sorry. She was going to do mac salad, but she had ham in it. That was like the whole recipe that she had.
Okay.
And she goes, Josh is like,
Josh, wanna
I
eat?
don't want to add ham in that. That's how Catherine thinks.
Yeah,
She's
there you go.
way better person than I am.
Honestly, I told her not to even think about it.
Well,
But anyway, let's
again.
not even talk
Yeah.
about it.
So, wait, Paul's asking, so if you guys go golfing, what would you drink? Not Coors. And so you mean with the Coors Light? I don't know, maybe some White Claws. Maybe. I mean, I don't really drink when I go golfing. So,
So hang on, we're gonna do the lie detector test.
Yeah. Here we
Hang
go.
on, here we
Gotta
go.
get out the lie
Sorry, I'm
detector.
hooking this thing up to you. Tell me again about how you don't drink when you drink. I'm just gonna hook it to one. Wait, hang on.
mean,
This way you're just gonna feel a little bit of pressure.
a little zing.
Why is this thing here?
No. Look.
All right.
So-
So I don't believe you for a second.
yeah, no, honestly.
But we
I'm-
tend to drink lighter beers as well. in
I'll
golf.
be honest with you. Light beer was everything up until the seltzers came out. I'm a big White Claw, truly guy. If I'm going to drink, like if I'm going out golfing or if I'm going to be grilling, I'll have a few of those. Low
That's why they're
carb
successful.
and easier to drink. I feel like they're less heavy.
They are.
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, I don't entirely disagree with you. When we're like out on the golf course, I feel like the other day I drank a couple
Yeah.
of those.
Everyone,
seltzers.
I think we all did. I think we all had a couple
You know,
of
you
something.
like you dig into the thing. It's like whatever you grab at that point. Like who cares? I'm not gonna reach back into our golf bag.
Our golf
So-
bag cooler.
Kat is saying, again, I didn't pay her to say this, but she said, your grilling skills today were on point, Sargon. Thank you.
Oh,
Well, thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. We'll take
They were.
all the compliments we can get here. And Ken says in 1979, a pallet of out-of-date Moosehead was delivered to his home in Auburn.
Palate.
So, like,
How'd
we
that
had
happen?
told him that the Coors was a little
I know,
out-of-date.
I know.
He got the out-of-date. So, good for you, Ken.
wow.
And Mike Dolan says, I like a good potato salad.
Yes.
And here's, like, the clutch. This is how you know you made good food, right? My cousin Andrew says, last year, Sean made spring rolls that were super yum.
I did make spring. Yeah.
And Catherine goes, oh my God, those are so yum. So that's
Where?
awesome.
What do you mean?
So spring rolls. So
Wait, last year you made them
Last year,
At his-
we had
at one of the
Memorial Day,
cookouts.
we had another cookout.
somebody remembered your food from last year.
Yeah, that's how good that was.
That's pretty good.
So if you go to like a Thai restaurant or a Southeast Asian restaurant, the big clear white noodle
Yeah.
that you soak and then you wrap raw veggies in it. So I did that with the vermicelli.
Where was I?
Not paying attention to us.
Well, I think you might have been there. Maybe you were there.
was.
You were
I
not
do not
living there
remember.
at the time.
I think I was. I don't remember that moment. All right. Well, on that note, I want to
I made
pour
a
some.
pad thai.
So today's National Wine Day. Sorry, I cut you off
National
with
Wine
the food.
Day.
What are we doing for wine?
We're drinking this.
a bubbly wine.
Hold it up.
Grandial?
Grandial. So it's a Brut Blanc de Blancs, the white of whites.
Yeah, this
Sparkling
is like
wine.
this is like a great sort of mimosa sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I like this one straight. I think this one's.
Well, it turns out it actually works for that too. You're gonna get like a little bit of the pear and the.
When I think of this wine, I think of like New Year's Eve, it's midnight, and you're doing champagne toast, or you're at a wedding, you're doing champagne toast.
Are
Like,
we
this is
kissing after this?
No, I mean, is there a...
Well, no. So you're right. So champagne, anything bubbly is known as a celebratory
Yes.
drink, right? So the first that come to mind are weddings, New Year's Eve,
Toasts
engagements,
and
toast.
stuff like that.
But it turns
End
out if
of
you own a
COVID.
restaurant,
Yep.
every Sunday we sell a case of that stuff.
Yes.
Because people want to put orange juice in it, or they want to
make
mix
a
it with
mimosa.
or
Yeah.
whatever. We have a bunch of drinks. So turns out we sell a lot of bubbly prosecco, champagne, all the time. We go through a ton of it. Whenever we have private events, we sell a lot of it. It's a thing, you get used to it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Oh, look at the thing on the
Oh
artwork
my
on
God,
the
be
top.
careful.
Yeah, trying to blind them. Oh, it's
Just
beautiful. Yeah, nice little
I've
artwork.
never seen that.
Well, should I show them now that you're
Yeah, let's do it.
Wow. See, that's the difference between a professional and like a guy who doesn't know it. Someone's trying to open up a bottle of sparkling wine.
This little thing, the cap is really kind of fancy looking. I
It is
like
kind of fancy.
It looks like something you'd buy on like
What did you
street
guys at
market
home
in
do
Key
tonight?
West.
Yeah, what did you guys all do today?
What did everyone do today? How was your
Socially
Memorial Day?
distanced.
Did you have cookouts? Did you...
Little artwork on the cap. Yeah, did you guys have cookouts? What did you do?
Does Paul want one of these? Paul, you want one of these?
Yeah, he does.
Let me grab another glass.
Ken, what do you mean your father-in-law had a trunking company for Moosehead and Adidas? So
Oh.
those are the two things he shipped?
How
So-
random, Adidas
So a
and
package
Moosehead.
fell off the back of a truck? Like, is that a real
It-
thing?
It sounds about right. A pallet.
What year was he
He's-
delivering Adidas, man? Adidas were like...
He said it was 79, he said? What did he say?
So Nino's saying he enjoyed the barbecue at his brother's house today.
Yes.
You were in
So-
Bellingham?
So your brother was there and his kids?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
It was.
Honestly, today was
His
one of
kids
those...
are so cool.
Yeah.
Today was... Wow,
His kids
that
are
was a good
so
pour.
cool.
Oh, my God.
Like, they literally crack me up every time I see him. I love the way his older son just loves to be involved. Like,
Yeah.
he's always like, guys, I know what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
you guys, he watches this show, I think.
Yeah. He brought up
You
last
poured in the
call for
round
us.
part. Yeah, it's still the round
It's
part.
all just a matter of whatever. I'm close enough.
It
You
was
need to saber the end. Just
today's the beginning of the summer, and hopefully,
right. It's the unofficial start to
yeah.
summer.
I mean, hopefully we get back to a little bit of sense of normalcy. I mean, I'm a little worried about
COVID?
COVID, obviously, and this is a thing
You know, you're
that.
the only one.
I know. Everyone else is. Did you see the news?
Well, did you see the beach in Situate?
Oh my God.
Or like
There-
we were talking about it the other day, Hampton Beach.
Like it never happened.
It's like it never happened. It's very nerve-wracking, or at the same time, maybe it's
Maybe
a good
we're
thing.
maybe we're okay.
Maybe we're
You
overreacting.
know, maybe in
I don't think so,
I don't think so either.
and I am a little worried, but we'll see.
2
like,
weeks
in
from now?
14 days,
We'll see what happened.
we'll see if there's like some sort of spike.
But they said today in Worcester, there's the first time in a long time that the spike went down, and things look like they're turning around over here. So hopefully, it looks like we're right on track. I just hope we don't screw it all up. But with that said,
Yeah, I mean, the chances are we're going to screw it
There
up.
we
a lot.
go.
we have
Happy
the
National
Grandial-
Wine Day.
Happy National Wine
So
Day.
cheers to all our veterans.
Blanc to blanc. Oh,
Cheers,
veteran.
cheers to all those that died at war.
Yes.
Veterans Day is for those that lived. Memorial's Day for those that
You
don't.
know, there's
so.
that meme that says, in case you thought this was about a 3-day weekend, Memorial Day is a day to honor the dead who have fought and gave the ultimate sacrifice during the war. So
That's right.
cheers to them and their families, and we thank you for your sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
I know you and Sean and I, we have veterans in our family, but
Yeah.
we were luckily, had they not made it, we wouldn't be here.
So my
Yeah.
my grandfather was on a ship. I should know the name of the ship, but he was in the Navy. He was on a ship during World War II, and he was there for a couple of years. I remember him telling the story. Man, I forget. It was somewhere out by Hawaii.
He was Pacific.
Yeah, he was definitely Pacific. And,
Our grandfather was Pacific as well.
He,
Yeah, South Pacific. We were down in our grandfather was down in the Guadalcanal.
Yeah.
and I believe he was drafted. I don't think it was one of those things where he was part of the Navy. I think he was drafted during World War II, and he had to be a part of it.
He was still
it was
part
just
of the
one
Navy.
of those things. So that it gives me definitely gives me perspective on this during this COVID thing, right? Would you rather be drafted to war,
Or
would
watch
you rather have
Netflix?
to or would you have to quarantine at home?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll quarantine at home all day. Like,
I have to binge watch another Netflix
Yeah.
episode. Oh, well, here's a gun. You could go sit in the mud and shoot somebody.
Exactly.
Or get
and
shot
so
at.
that's why for me, I'm like, I don't understand the whole, this is too much, or, hey, if this is our burden, or this is our cross we have to carry, let's carry it, guys. No big deal. We'll get through this.
Yeah. Wear your seatbelt.
Yep.
No, seriously. No,
PSA?
yeah, what
This is good. By
when
the way.
was the
Can we
last
talk
time?
about this for just
Yes,
1 second?
sorry.
This
I don't
is
mean to
nice.
interrupt you. How easy to drink is this?
So this is different than the
Prosecco.
the Prosecco in that it tastes very much like a Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
But it's sparkly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get a lot of citrus in there.
Yes.
A ton of citrus, which is why I always feel like these sort of sparkling wines should be used for mimosas. It's perfect. It almost adds you almost don't need the
Yeah.
orange juice or the whatever the juice you're adding to it, because it adds all that extra to it. I think it's great.
Yeah, well, it's a decent champagne.
I mean, I've been drinking Miller Lite for the last hour and a half, so
So it's the sister of the champagnes of beers.
Ken says his grandfather, Chief Petty Officer, did not come home. Ken was born 6 years later.
Oh.
So your grandfather made the ultimate sacrifice, Ken. We salute him. And cheers to him.
Yeah.
And to all of those who have fallen. I mean, that is not a easy burden, That is something that a lot of families have to carry and deal with, and a lot of people deal with. People have gone to war. They witness their friends of the fallen. And today's one of those days where you think about that kind of stuff. You think about how lucky we are. I'll tell you what, I thank God every day. I was born in this country. I live in this country because I hear stories, and I know, I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to be put on a list somewhere else in the world. But I'll tell you, there's other places in this world that you do not want to live. And if you live there and you criticize, you'll take, people take their freedom for granted. We can say anything we want at any time and give our opinion. And other places where you give your opinion the next day, get a knock on your door. Hey, come with us. We need to bring you somewhere. And then you're not heard from for another 6 months. And then you're
Incredible.
sent home beaten and bruised, and it's like, don't do that again.
Right.
That's how I feel about Sean when he changes the specials without asking me. I'm like, all right, come with me. I'm going to
Don't
take
do that
you
again.
beaten and bruised.
You're
Sorry,
on a list.
I don't mean to make it.
You're on a
So
list.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be too serious about it, but
No, but
I want to make sure that we
It's Memorial Day. It's
Exactly.
worth mentioning.
we give it its.
There's a
just
reason
So
why
it's-
we're the greatest
it's
nation on
National
earth.
Wine Day.
It's that too.
Right, so I was thinking earlier, I was chatting with a friend and we were saying, if you were stuck on a desert island
Yep.
and you had to pick one wine, which is almost impossible, right? But if you had to pick one wine that you're going to drink,
It's all you could drink ever again.
and the challenge for me with that question was that I'm on a desert island, so obviously I'm thinking hot.
It's 100
Yes,
degrees,
yes.
yeah.
But let's just say, if you were stuck somewhere
Can only drink
in
one
a
wine.
perfect environment, and you
Well,
could
so,
only,
can
what's
I-
the wine you're going to drink?
I always, every time I answer these desert island questions, I always put it to, I don't care about the desert island. I say, imagine my
just
world today,
with nothing but that.
and there's nothing but this wine, or there's only one wine
Right.
that exists in reality. For me, it's got to be a red wine. I think it just goes better with food, and I'm not an everyday wine drinker, so for me, drinking wine is like, I'll have it with something, and
Yep.
if I don't, I'm not missing out too much.
Right.
Not a huge wine guy, I gotta admit.
So
And
what,
I think you guys know
what
that.
kind of what do you
So-
like?
I was a cab guy up until we started talking about Pinot Noir and drinking a little bit more of that, and I think I've been converted.
That's amazing. Most people go.
I
the
would
other
have said
way.
Pinot Noir.
Most people start with Pinot and then like get to like the
So the cab
cabs and the Zinfandels. and
Cab
then
for
go-
me, if I'm eating a huge meal,
Yeah.
100% I'm going with that. But
Yep.
if we're talking like
Every day?
you know, if you go to someone's house, would you like a glass of wine? You know, give me that Pinot Noir. I'll drink that all day. I don't need the
A nice
tannins.
high-end Pinot
I'll
Noir.
feel all acidic when I drink the cab. I don't know. It just like
I completely agree with you.
it,
If you can only have one,
yeah.
Pinot Noir can hit
Neutral
all the
enough.
bases.
Yep.
You can drink it by
So
itself.
interesting.
Cab, if I'm eating steak or pasta or something
Yeah.
like heavy cheeses, cab, I'm good. Cab fits it. But if it's only one, Pinot Noir,
So I'm
something
tell-
like
cab,
flowers
I
or
used
something.
to drink cab like people should drink Pinot Noir.
Well, most people
And it
do.
wasn't until I started drinking Pinot Noir where I was like, wow, I was doing it backwards. I should have been drinking this the whole time. And I just enjoy it that much more.
See, for me, like I don't know if it's just because of bad taste buds or something, but I need like a little more spice in there. Like if I want, go ahead.
So Ken says Barolo,
Barolo's
Yeah,
great.
as
so
long
like-
as there are peaches.
Okay. Yeah,
And then,
sure, of
and
course.
Paul says Camus Cab.
Yeah, well,
So a
cab.
little cab, yeah, same idea. So for me, I got to go. If it's only going to be one, I got to go heavier and spicier.
Sure.
I want to go like a Zinfandel
Or a cab.
Yeah.
or a hard cat, like something that's gonna just.
You know why I
Always-
find that interesting? Because like if you had to eliminate all the beer in the world, I feel like you would be like, all right, just
Light,
keep it domestic,
Miller Lite.
and I'll be okay, and you can get rid of everything.
That's
else.
true. I would.
But you went
But
for a
like,
big
for
one.
wine, you go the opposite. You
Well,
would be like,
I
give me
don't-
the
something,
heavier.
something about.
So
one-
the nice thing about this contest is we picked a style.
right.
Pinot Noir has big, fruity, bold.
Sure.
You can find those. And Cab has lights. So you can kind of do either one. You can get a light, crisp Cab. Now, if you start talking about like Bordeaux's from France, they can be light and crisp. You start talking about California. So Cab and Pinot Noir, you can find something that covers the spectrum.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
You know,
agree.
I've
with
had
that.
plenty of crazy big Pinot Noirs. I've crazy light Cabs. They're out there. So
Well,
So maybe we have one of those like it's like
like I pick
like
an
we have
actual
like one of
wine.
those like wine. Delivery
Well, like Paul picked an
services,
actual wine.
And you show up and you're just like, I get to pick some version of
Yeah,
X wine for the next
right.
eternity,
yep.
and I can every time pick it. Yeah, okay, then there you go.
Yeah,
And I
so
would-
as a style,
it'd probably
Cab-
be Cab for me then, if that's the case. If I can actually pick, if I can
Yeah,
go.
I
and
guess you could pick any winery or vintage, but it's got to be
Right.
that style.
yeah.
So maybe Cab would be the right answer. But for me, if it's like if all I knew about wine, it'd be like Bordeaux, or Italian table wine. Like for me, it would be like that kind of like that's what I want in a wine.
Yeah.
Something I could have with food, something I could drink by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was cheers to that anyway.
Yes.
And it wouldn't be this though.
No,
Sparkling
no.
wine is like it's nice and all, but
I love sparkling wine, but
For
me,
weddings
it's
and New Year's.
mainly a breakfast food.
There you go.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or weddings and New Year's.
So
Yeah,
to
exactly.
just to go back on the Memorial Day theme, what is the best war movie you ever saw?
Ah,
Like something that like
There's
I
so
know
many
we were
good
just talking
ones.
about all the branches in the military,
So
and
many
I
good
know
ones.
that can encompass a lot of things, but the best war movie, and I guess it could
There's
be
some of the
any
best
war,
ever, right?
Anything.
I mean, war movies are some of the best movies we have in our culture.
Exactly.
The most, if you look at the top 20 films rated of all time, war movies are in there a
Oh,
lot.
absolutely.
Right? So there's so many, and
Because it paints such a harrowing experience that a lot of people
And feels
aren't-
real.
Yeah.
I mean, I have obviously there's like a few that are like top,
very
like-
famous ones.
Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket,
Platoon.
Exactly. But like for me, one of the ones that made the most impact on me was there was a
series
special on HBO. There
I
were
know
two
what you're
Band of
specials.
Brothers?
Well, Band of Brothers, which was fantastic.
Fantastic.
Like amazing. But then there was one called Pacific,
Same guys.
which was the same people,
Same
but they
writers.
made a movie about the people fighting in the Pacific. And I think because of my grandfather's relationship with that,
And telling us stories.
and like when in 8th grade, I had to go interview somebody. I interviewed my grandfather, and I think you guys all know what an impact he's had on my life. Huge. And so like that movie or that series sort of impacted me because I felt like after watching that, he had passed by the time I got to see that series. But I felt like after watching that, I had a much better understanding of his perspective on the world.
Sure.
Which, very few movies make you understand, like, the people you know. It was like, I watched it, I was like, oh, now I understand why he thought that about the world, because I saw the way they delivered the information to me in a
Yes.
way that I now, like, I sympathized with him and the way he saw the world.
It gives you a better understanding of everything.
Pacific for me, that series Pacific made a huge impact on me.
Okay.
But ultimately, it's got to be Apocalypse Now for me.
Apocalypse Now. Interesting. So for me, I guess, there's a bunch of them, right? And a lot of those.
There's hundreds. But
Yeah, there's a lot of good, really, really good ones out there. And so you guys, can I admit something? Apocalypse Now, Platoon, I've never seen them.
That's
I never.
fine.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. I'm
Go
assuming.
Now
watch
we have
them.
something to do
I know.
tonight.
I'm assuming.
I know what we're watching
Are
tonight.
both about Vietnam?
Nope.
No? Okay. Are either of them about Vietnam?
Yep.
Okay. So I just I had a feeling, but
No, they're both about Vietnam.
yeah. Platoon is.
Platoon
What
is.
is Apocalypse Now?
Apocalypse Now is
Korea?
Korea or World War?
Oh, Platoon's World War II. Right?
No, Platoon is.
Vietnam.
No, you're thinking of Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
So I was
they're both Vietnam.
Both-
I'm sorry.
Are they both
Yeah.
Vietnam? One's not Korea?
So
They're both
Vietnam.
For sure.
I just remember. So here's why I never.
Martin
watched it.
Sheen.
To be very honest with you, growing up, I was much younger, and I remember everyone talking about Full Metal Jacket being such a great movie.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
And I was, I think, a little bit too young to have watched it. And I watched it, and I said, this is too dark. And then I started
think?
reading up.
It's very dark.
It's about
It's
as dark as it goes.
It's so harrowing that, like, you don't, like, I didn't even want to, like, and then you start reading about Vietnam and then the whole war and what it did to the troops. And I don't want to get into the whole political thing, but, like, man, that was I feel like a mistake. Everything was a mistake there.
I mean, there's.
The way everyone was treated afterwards. So I watch those movies and I feel for those people. I say,
Well, that's the idea, right?
yeah, this was bad. And then so when I watch World War II movies, like at least at the end of World War II, like, hey, we won. Like it was like, hey, something like, yeah. I mean,
There's so many good ones. Like
we didn't even talk about Saving Private
Deer
Ryan.
Hunter.
Saving Private Ryan. What what's another good one? American Sniper.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a
modern day war movie.
extremely modern day.
I was so tense the entire time watching
Yeah.
that movie.
What was the one with the guys that fell behind enemy lines? Something down. Where
Three Kingsmen or
No,
something?
well, there's
No,
that.
I know what you're saying. Last Survivor.
Black Hawk Down.
Oh, the one that was
Black Hawk
Somalia.
Down.
That's a real
That's a
story.
really
That's
bad
what I'm
one.
saying.
I met those dudes when I was
That's
living in Philly. I met the guy
amazing.
who was flying that helicopter.
Yeah, amazing.
I played a benefit show, and
For
I
him.
met that guy who literally was flying the helicopter that crashed in that movie. That was...
Does Deer Hunter count? Is Deer Hunter a war movie?
Well, so yeah.
Half
course.
of it is, right?
They go to Vietnam, of course.
I mean, there's so many good ones. And then you go back to, like, Bridge over River Kwai. You go back to, like, there's so many war movies, black and white even, like, that our dad loved. growing
Saving
up.
Private Ryan. What I liked about
Another
what's
true
a
story.
Great one, 1917. Have you watched that?
Oh, the two
Yeah.
kids
Yeah,
running
yeah,
to
yeah.
save their...
So I'll tell you what.
So good.
World War I is one of those wars that a lot of people don't think about or know about. But like when you read about
The
way
dirty war.
like trench warfare
Dirty
that
war.
happened during that, that is like you say, dirty war.
Mustard gas.
Like I
Guys
would
had
not
their feet were rotting off.
watching
They
that.
starved. It was warfare, like right on the
And
between.
we all get to go like hang out on the beach because
In Normandy.
these dudes did that shit for us.
100%.
With the French, by the way, whose asses we were trying to kick at the time.
Yeah.
So we're friends now. Cheers,
Cheers to
champagne.
the French.
World War I, we're good. We got champagne now.
But I'll tell you what.
They get
man,
hamburgers, we get champagne.
That was a that's a very interesting take on the movie, and it just
Our
I
great
think-
grandfather was in World War I.
But I think it shows how intense, and it just doesn't even show that much of it, but just like it peeked behind the curtain about what trench warfare was about, and it's like, oof, that was scary shit.
And then there's all the ancient war movies where you start looking at the Middle East, like Middle Ages, and like Middle Age warfare. And there's some wonderful ones out there where it's like tribe versus tribe, or like England versus Ireland or Spain.
I am
and
Spartacus.
well, what's the Mel Gibson one where they're all in kilts? He's
Braveheart.
Braveheart.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's a war movie.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
Yeah, it's a great war movie.
Freedom!
I
Great
mean
war
that one
movie.
that I would think about on Memorial Day, but
Right, it's not a Memorial Day. That's
yeah,
more
but
of a.
is Top Gun a war movie? I think we were asking.
I think so.
Or is that a military movie?
I don't know. Did they ever go to war? in
I don't
that
think
movie?
They had an altercation.
I honestly don't remember that movie at all.
They had a soiree that they
I
had to
remember
finish.
Tom
It's
Cruise on the
ridiculous.
motorcycle with the.
It's ridiculous. They are just
with Kenny Loggins
yeah, it's ridiculous.
singing. Kenny Loggins did a live show, I think Saturday at the LA Forum.
Ken says Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh yeah,
War
Pan's
creeps
Labyrinth
me
is
out.
great. Yeah, that's creepy.
And is that a war movie?
No.
Yeah.
He
I
said
never
Pan's
heard of
Labyrinth, Spanish War.
I mean,
That's what he
well,
said.
Okay, maybe. Maybe I have to watch it again
Yeah.
because that's not what I remember. But I'm sure Ken is right.
Gary says Henry V, Kenneth Branagh's adaptation.
Yes, absolutely. Kenneth Branagh does great stuff.
I've not seen that one.
Well, I mean, Henry V.
All that
or
stuff
something.
gets lost on me, man.
Yeah.
All of the English, because of how it's just so sad how everything was ran 500 years ago. Like, you just see it's like, I will take your wife. It's like,
Kill
why?
your friend
Like, I'm gonna take her.
Well, so
Which version of Henry V did you?
No, it happened in Braveheart. Like, there's all these weird things that happen. I don't know. I promise you.
I mean, it's kind of like COVID. In medieval times, you would thrive. You'd figure it out.
Yeah, true.
There's something entertaining and slightly titillating about a lawless world. Could you imagine if we were lords in a medieval time? Like what our world would look like?
All right, I'm going to cut this conversation right now because I know where it's going.
Sean said titillating, and I was like, all right, let's start talking, man. What are we talking about
I
here?
just have one more question for you.
Yeah.
If you could pick like one single food to eat at a barbecue, like a backyard barbecue, what's the one food? Like the one food you have to have that's definitely got to be there, or you're not showing up to that party.
Well, that's not
man.
fair
Oh, man.
because they can't all make it.
Yeah, so here's the
I'm just
thing.
saying.
I'll be honest with you. We made 4 burgers today. I didn't get to have one of them. But I'm a cheeseburger guy at a cookout. Like, I'll take the cheeseburger and I'll be happy as long as I can have one of those. I'll be good. I know a whole cheeseburger will fill me up. I'll feel good. And I can continue doing whatever I'm doing. If I'm drinking or whatever, I'll be good. But I'm not a big hot dog guy.
So maybe the question is more like, when you show up and you see it, you're like, yes,
That's the one I want.
so glad they have it. I'm not saying you.
I already said it 3 times today. It's the kebabs.
The
It's
kebabs.
not just the kebabs. Well, so kebabs are cubes of meat on sticks. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about kefta.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the ground
Ground
beef,
beef on a stick.
squeezed onto a stick and grilled.
Yes.
Japan does it.
Yep.
Greece does it. Middle East does it. It's a thing. It's
Yes.
called yakitori in Japan. It's kefta in Greece, and it's kefta in Middle East too,
Kefta
right?
and Middle Eastern. So
And it's just the
I
best
mean,
thing
I guess
ever.
probably, if that's the case, Josh, Italian sausage. Give me a sausage, a kielbasa,
That's a
something
close
like
second
that.
for me.
For me, 'cause I'm
Anything
not
in
eating
sausage
that,
form.
Like, I'm not ordering that when I'm going out. I'm not eating that at a restaurant. It's kind of really one of those things that, like, you're at
I
a
agree.
cookout and you're like, oh, they have that? Fill it up. Let's go.
Polish salsa from Guillermo's.
Yes.
Italian sausage and pepper and onions from the sausage guy in Fenway.
Well, that's.
No, I mean like just
Yeah,
like
no, I
they're
get you.
they're my favorite things.
So-
Anything in sausage form,
My
all
brother,
for it.
My brother Ninos' cheeseburger
And
Ken
of course,
says yes, cheeseburger.
cheeseburger.
Gary says kielbasa. Paul says 1 hot dog, and he hates them. But he always needs to have one.
It's a very thing. It's an
And
American
Catherine
summer
says
thing.
a hot dog fresh off the grill. And Nino says, good call on the sausage, of course. That's why I'm your
Anything sausage,
much
right?
better looking, smarter,
Bratwurst,
younger
not
brother.
worst. I mean, go to Germany and just eat your way through the sausage. It's great.
All right. Well, there you go.
All right.
I love it.
Happy.
Happy Memorial
Day.
And
It's a fun
We'll-
day.
we'll see you
Thank
tomorrow.
we'll see you guys tomorrow.
I got to
Cheers.
go fill up my beverage.